Hello. Welcome to Local Man's Awful Podcast number 3. I'm Brad, and I run this shit. So, I'm gonna start off. I need to know if the intro, how I should do the intro. I think, like, me coming in with the monologue is cool, or should I do, like, the music first, then the monologue, and then write some, like, transitional music? I don't know exactly what to do. I think for the people who like are avid listeners, y'all should hit me up with some feedback, because it's honestly whatever flows better. And yeah, any feedback you guys have, that would be nice, because it helps me fix things that might seem annoying or whatnot, or just might help advance the podcast. But yeah, so this week, what has happened? Been watching a lot of Jersey Shore again. And for my Jersey Shore heads, I think the worst season is either season 4 or 6. That's just my opinion. I hate when they go to Italy. I think that's the fucking dumbest season ever. And I thought the Ron and Mike fight was later in the season, but it was pretty early. But I don't know. And then season 6, I'm currently watching it. It's on in the background right now. But yeah, no, like, it's kind of just like boring. Snooki's pregnant. Vinny's celibate. Mike's clean. They all got fucking boyfriends and girlfriends except for Paulie, so he's just chilling. But yeah, no, any Jersey Shore heads, hit me up. Let me know. I want to talk Jersey Shore. I had a couch in my room. Had to get rid of that shit. I think the pets brought ticks into my fucking room, so had to eliminate that process, or that fucking problem. Had my boy Robert come through. He'll be on the podcast soon. Fucking moved the whole couch by himself. He's a goddamn madman. But yeah, no. Now I have like this like huge fucking like space in my room, so it's just like a lot of floor room. So if y'all want to come through, hit me up. Also finished the Belladonna stuff. That'll be coming out tomorrow, or at midnight. Yeah, midnight, which is tomorrow. But yeah, it'll be coming out. Check that out. 5 songs. Sent the Noble Bones stuff over to Chris Como, mastering engineer, to get that stuff mastered, because I haven't fucking figured out mastering. Plus they wanted to go through him, so I was like, cool, less stress on me. But yeah, I fucking hate mastering. That shit is dumb. It's super dumb. Garrett's been coming over, getting drunk, playing Destiny. He loves that game. He won't buy it, but I mean, if he wants to come over to my house and play it, I don't give a shit. At least he's having fun. That man is very funny. I love him. He'll get super drunk and then be barely able to play Destiny and then blame the game. But you know, maybe it is the game. Maybe I'm just looking at it wrong. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what happened. I know there's the Reclaim show happening on Friday with Cell Damage, Post Nothing, Crude Dudes, Lil Debbie's and the Moon Pies, and fuck, I feel like I'm missing someone. But yeah, that's at C47. You should go. But yeah, no, another thing I did was I started well, like, with recording, I was always doing it for free because I feel like my output of recording quality has been not worthy enough to charge. But as the more I do it and the more I learn, I'm realizing, like, oh, I'm getting better at it, and people are telling me that I'm getting better at it. So, like, I've been fighting with this for like a long time. But I am now starting to charge because I don't work. I can't work. because of my disease. See, it's my time. So I feel like that just helps pushes it, and I need to make money because I want to get better equipment and give better sounding, or give bands up here better sounding material. So I need to get better equipment. I don't know, just better the studio and the equipment for it, because that's my whole mission for the local man. Local man statement is helping out this scene and getting people good sounding stuff just right here in the desert. But yeah, no, yeah, it's very hard because I'm not confident with like sales and all that. And I usually, like, when it first started, I would tell people, like, or I would tell Alex, I'm like, here, please talk to him. I can't talk to him. I can't make these sales or like business proposals or whatnot. But I'm getting more confident now and asking people and just telling them straight up, like, this is my prices. And I think most people understand, because I know there's a lot of people who are artists that sell their art and all they do is just paint and paint and paint and sell, because that is their main source of income. So I get it. And now I'm finally starting to see that, like, maybe I do need to get paid for this. And it still makes me feel weird that I'm like taking money from people, but I think in the end it's all justified. And I have this like weird fear of like people not wanting to record with me because I'm charging. But I mean, hopefully they do. Hopefully they want to come and work with me, because I like working with people. I like working with all sorts of different people. I like doing everything. I feel like if I record every style of music, it makes me well-rounded. But, you know, hit me up. I don't charge that much. I don't think I am. But I know people have told me I need to start charging more, but I'm barely starting to charge. So I'll start there. But yeah, no, it's just something that like eats at me. But I mean, you gotta make that money. And another thing, I think this is the last thing I would talk about. I don't know how to get this fucking podcast shit up onto like iTunes or whatnot, because I know SoundCloud has this thing where you only get like 3 hours, and the rest of the podcasts I've recorded have been longer, more than an hour. So I'm already like at my max. So I don't know what to do about that. And plus, I don't have money to put it, or a monthly income to run it through a third-party website to put it up. So I don't know what to do. And doing it myself, I looked at videos and I was like, fuck that. That seems annoying. But I think I'm going to try YouTube. I don't know. I think this one might go up on YouTube. I'll see what happens. But yeah, I was actually talking to my boy Dev, which his episode, we did that. That'll be coming up soon. But he's saying I should get a camera and film it. But your boy ain't got a camera, so I think I'm just gonna do audio on YouTube and just put like the picture up for the video. I don't know. But yeah, like I said, feedback would be nice. Let me know, any fellow podcasters up here, because it would just be easier to put it on there. But if there's any other solutions, let me know. So yeah, here's my conversation. I don't even fucking tell you who I'm talking to, but talking to my boy Marc Rott. He's from Holiday. We went to school together. And it's funny because, like, Mark is, I consider a person that I never thought I'd be, like, hanging out with, like, outside of high school, because he listens to, like, very, like, poppy indie stuff, and, like, I was, like, against that stuff back in high school, but now I'm all about it. But, yeah, no, he's a skateboarder. He's pretty cool at it, or pretty good at it. He's pretty cool. He's nice. He's funny. He has a high voice that we like to make fun of him for it. But yeah, yeah, let me know. Please fucking talk to me. Please hit me up. Let me know if I should make a separate social media accounts for this podcast, so I can just not talk through my Instagram or the local man Twitter. But Yeah, no, let me know. Here's my conversation with Marc Rott. Welcome to Local Man's Awful Podcast number 3. I'm your host, Brad of Local Man. And today's episode we're joined by Marc Rott of Holiday.
How's it going?
How's it going? How's your night?
Night's going well.
How was your day? You were telling me about it earlier.
Good. Easy going. I mean, nothing too crazy. Don't get a whole lot of time off from work, so when I do, I try to spend it quite wisely.
Yeah, and by skateboarding and sleeping, right?
Yeah, catching up on sleep, getting back into skating slowly but surely. And, music's kind of a all-the-time thing when I can shove it in there.
Yeah, so Marc is from Holiday. Holiday's a project that I started with him. Caesar's also in the band. Yeah, we released one single, that's it. And we just been chilling.
Yeah, man, I don't know, with schedules kind of colliding here and there, it's hard to get stuff together. But I don't know, that's kind of the biggest focus for this band, is to just keep it as fun as possible. So time isn't really an issue because there's no need to like force stuff out quick. Just once it happens, it happens.
I don't know, like I wouldn't say like people are dying for more, but I mean, some people could.
Well, I don't know. At the same time, that's the thing. I think
you're dying for more.
I'm dying for more. I feel like the single doesn't do justice for how good it's all going to be. So once more stuff comes out, it's definitely going to bring up the overall hype, I feel like.
Nice voice crack, dude. We're going to hear a lot of that this episode.
Yeah, man.
It's all right. Marc hasn't hit puberty yet. So 19. We're just waiting for that. We're also waiting for the Holiday LP, but beggars can't be choosers. I'm sorry, Marc. What was I going to say? So what is Holiday? What do you define Holiday as? Like, if you had to put a genre.
Well, maybe somewhat contradicting to what the single might have sounded like.
So we're going from the single, because this is what only people have heard, the single.
I mean, I'm kind of bad when it comes to labeling band sounds. I know what it's all going to be. I know exactly what the EP/possible LP will sound like, but what would you label the
pop rock? Totally,
yeah,
straight up
it's pop rock, and that's why like kind of transitioning from that. The newer stuff's gonna be more pop punk, but it definitely has got the pop aspect for sure. Some of them might sound a little more pop rock, some of it might be more pop punk, but I think overall it'll be towards the pop punk side, being that's kind of the general agreements we all have, I think.
Well, like, I think because Holiday's a big melting pot.
Definitely.
Genres. So like you're big into the 1975 and all that, like Arctic Monkeys, right?
Or you kind of like, I mean, it's definitely changed. That stuff very formative in like early guitar playing. The Strokes being like the biggest guitar influence for me.
You're wearing your Strokes shirt right now.
Yeah.
Have you heard of a band from here called Brokes?
I haven't, actually.
They're a cover band of the Strokes, and they play Froggies, and they're called the Brokes. So what they did was the S on the Strokes, they just drew lines through it and made it look like the Brokes.
How has this never come up before?
I don't know. It just like recently just crossed my mind, like, and I was like, fuck, I should tell Marc.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so Strokes is your big influence, right?
Definitely. The Strokes is it's just kind of one of those things that got me hooked on playing guitar, kind of hearing the relationship between two guitars, how there wasn't always like a super defined lead and a super defined rhythm. It's kind of like two things working together to create one solid sound. That just like got me hooked into playing guitar in general. And then, I mean, the other things around that, like you said, like Arctic Monkeys and stuff, as much as it sounds kind of cliche these days, I don't care. It's what got me hooked, and it got me into the other things that I'm into now.
Yeah, no, like, the only person I know from the Strokes is Julian Casablancas. That's the only person I know, because I had a friend who was, like, really big in the Strokes when she was younger, and I was just like, I don't know who the fuck they are.
Like I know who you're talking about, maybe?
I'm not disclosing any.
Oh, we're not.
I'm not disclosing any names. But hold on. I'll write it down. If I can. I'll see if I can show you it. Hold on. But yeah, no, she was like big about it, and I just like her. She's like, yeah, Julian Casablancas. And I was like, who the fuck is that? And I was like, she was like, oh yeah, it's the dude from Strokes. I was like, oh.
Yeah, no needs for name drops because I'm pretty positive I know who you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's with kind of the discussion about like what holiday is. The mindset I had going into it was, oh, the Strokes are like what got me hooked on playing guitar, so naturally I should try to incorporate that into what I'm doing. And it's not like a Strokes song by any means, but it was still influenced with that mindset, and the stuff we were working on for holiday was definitely like super influenced by that. And it is cool and all, but part of why we had to take a break on it was because I personally didn't want to do that. Ultimately, it wasn't giving me the satisfaction. Like
creative differences.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, the pop punk direction is kind of something we all mutually agree on.
Yeah.
So that's just the easiest to work with. And currently, as far as writing goes, it's just what I'm feeling most naturally inspired to write.
Yeah, well, like, was it Caesar and I are like got the hardcore and punk aspect, and then Natalie's very influenced on pop punk. And like I think what helps us kind of push more for sound is because we all saw Gem and Super Crush together, and we're like, fuck
Definitely.
yeah, that's what we want to sound like. Because like those are bands that we can play with. Like that's achievable. And so like I was like, oh fuck, we should try to like push towards that sound, that alt rock, pop rock shit.
Yeah, I can honestly say Super Crush is probably like the number one influence for spinning. Definitely.
You think
like
so?
it.
Really?
Yeah. For my mindset when I wrote that little piece that we worked with, that was totally like after seeing the Super Crush show, like I just wanted to play something like that.
That show was so dope. Like Rolex was cool. That
whole set was just like.
What'd you think of Daisy Chain?
They were cool. I mean, not saying anything.
With the fuzz and shit, and the metal. What's that? That I can't remember that guitar. It had like the metal neck and shit. The one I like.
Oh, are you talking about the one with like it had like a T almost inside the headstock?
Yeah.
It was like hollowed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, nothing personally against them, just a personal
Daisy Chain, if you're listening.
Oh, jeez, don't say it like that. No, I'm just not a big fan of like volume, and that sounds like kind of dumb, I'm sure, but I just don't like when music is kind of overpowered just by how loud it is. Like I kind of like when things are a little more articulated, and that, you know, it's all a preference and styles. Sometimes that works for a band, it works for them, but it's just not what I'm personally into.
Yeah.
Getting all nervous and shit because I'm not trying to shit talk anybody.
Dude, nah, it's cool. We let shit fly here. Now, if you honestly hate somebody, just let them know. I think honesty is the best.
This is the way to let someone know you
like,
hate them. Just
I mean, like don't tell them. Yeah, don't tell them in person. Like tell them on this show. Like, but yeah, let's get into how we met. Do you remember how we met?
My memory was refreshed on the moment. I was thinking more so of like some of the first times we talked. But the first time we met was in a biology class that you weren't supposed to have.
Yeah, no, I was like, what the fuck is this? And then I see you like sitting on the table and you were like laughing at some of the shit I was saying. So I was like, all right, this kid's cool. And then like I was talking to a friend of ours. She was like, yeah, that's Mark. I was like, oh, he's not new. I was like, oh, okay.
It's funny that you say that though, because a lot of people thought I was new when I had met you, like that time frame.
Yeah.
Just because there was like a specific set of events that had happened.
Well, I mean, like you're kind of the person that kind of just like hangs low and
I was laying low for sure. I don't know. It sounds kind of funny saying it this way, but I was on homeschool before starting at the school we went to, and yeah, I had like no social interaction. That was pretty typical of a lot of kids on homeschool, but it's just I enjoyed doing things alone, or I had like one friend that I'd go skate with, but that's all there was to it. So going back into a public school, even though it was a small school, was like a harsh change, And
Yeah, because you're like well kept to yourself. Like you
yeah.
walk around, hoodie on, just like
Yeah, I don't
head
know. It's
down
kind of
and just
dumb
straight
looking
to
at it
class.
now. Like most people say about their high school stuff, but it'd be the middle of summer and I'm wearing like a hoodie with a beanie and I have like this super long surfer hair, as everybody called it.
I don't remember you with long hair.
Oh, I have a good picture that actually the person that was talking to you about me sent me a little while ago.
Uh, yeah, but yeah, no, you did that, and then like we weren't like, I'd say like we didn't hate each other. So high school, we just didn't talk.
Yeah, no, there was never any negative. I mean, I figured there would be negative feelings from you. If I'm being honest, I just heard
Yeah,
how
okay,
like
well, like everybody's fucking thing about me in high school is like I was either a poser, I either was a dickhead to everybody, or I just didn't care about anything. And like I kind of feel like I gave off that attitude. I think I'm a lot like more happier and more open to people now, because like I would walk around and blast like this like fucking like hardcore and just metal, and people would just be like, ew, like turn that off, and I'd be like, fuck you, and I'd just walk around like on my high horse. I'm like, fuck off.
I mean, my
Be real with me.
viewpoint towards you, I just felt like you were very opinionated. Is like kind of the gist I got based off everybody, like everything everybody told me, which is still the case, but at the same time,
What did people tell you?
just that you're just very opinionated, the epitome of hot takes.
Oh
I
yeah,
could
yeah,
say.
yeah. I'll tell you
But you
straight up.
still are. The difference is, I just think like since high school, you've become more open-minded.
Oh yeah, like I wouldn't.
In general, like all aspects of life.
I don't listen to half.
especially in music.
Used to listen to. I wouldn't listen to like what I listen to now. I'd probably beat me up. Like old me would beat my ass up.
Oh yeah, for sure. You
Be like,
walk
you
down
listen-
the street
listen to
playing
this fucking
Kira Kira Bonito.
yeah, like
Oh,
you listen to
man.
Frankie Cosmos, you fucking freak. Nah, but no. And then you would come into our rhythm combo class.
I
our,
got
like,
into
band
that class eventually, but
and he would come in. I'd be like,
I was just hanging out.
who's this dude? All right. And then he'd just hang out in the back, and then we just have practice, and then go on, and that's as much interaction we had in high school, because you're a year younger than me, right?
Yeah.
Or 2 years.
Like you're 20, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 19 now.
Okay, yeah, so a year younger. So he was a grade he was in 11th grade when I was graduating. And so it seems like your 12th grade, you're just like getting more interactive or more into like the whole
Definitely.
music
What-
at school.
The thing is with that is most of the kids there were kind of already been involved with different music classes, I should say.
Yeah.
And that whole concept was all new to me. I hadn't played guitar before high school there.
Wait, really?
You didn't know that? Do you know
Wait,
when
so
I
you
started
sto-
playing guitar?
With your senior year?
11th grade year.
Yeah, okay, now I understand why that guy called you a shredder at fucking Guitar Center. Oh, what the fuck? That's crazy.
You didn't know that?
No,
Yeah,
I,
no,
thought
my,
you were more,
uh,
I thought you were more like yeah, I started like middle school, but like
No. I never played guitar prior to technically 10th grade, but the thing with that was when I started school there in 10th grade, halfway through, that guitar class was like super unstructured, and we didn't actually play guitar in there. It was just like a social class, and that's where I met some other people.
if you want to name them, you can name them. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't think it matters. But that's where I met like Jordan Gallegos, and I was already from like 9th into 10th grade getting into more music that was like guitar based, and then at that point, once I was like in school with these other kids that could actually play guitar like that, it got me like super into it. Just like seeing people actually doing it and being good at it, like that was such a foreign concept to me. So once 11th grade started, I just tried to become like as involved as possible, like in all guitar classes I could be there, and I just tried to get the most out of it that I could. And yeah, I was really into the concept of being in rhythm combo at the time. Seemed like so far-fetched to me, but
Yeah, like it seems cool from the outside, but as soon as you're in it, I'm like, this shit sucks.
yeah, I felt like kind of a dork. I mean, still my involvement was pretty small because that was only like a year into me playing.
Yeah.
But I played 2 songs, like 2 out of 8 songs from the last show, so that's sick. But
Yeah, I can't. I'm like trying to remember like how we like eventually like started talking out of high school, because like I can't remember. Like all I remember is like you coming over to my house and just jamming with me.
but I can't remember what like got the ball rolling.
Oh, I do. I remember
like
now.
I know me and your girlfriend Natalie we're kind of close, and then we were just like off and on like.
Oh
just,
man,
like,
you almost said super close. That's a little bit of a burn.
Well, I mean, like she doesn't go out. Well, like between that
Yeah.
time period, it wasn't her going out of her way to hang out with me. Like
I feel you.
it would just be like, oh, like you're bored.
No, I know
I'm bored, let's
exactly
hang
what
out.
started it now. I'd forgotten, but now that it's come up,
Natalie, forgive me.
the carnival at school, I was rolling through with my broken ankle that kind of put everything on hold.
That's right.
And we were standing in a circle, and it was me, you, and Chad. And
That's right.
we were talking, and I was just like, at that point, I was so frustrated with not being able to do anything else that I was like, all right, now is my time to just live it up playing guitar because I can't do anything else. And being out of high school and finally getting like a little better at playing, I was immediately like on the lookout, like who's trying to jam, who's trying to start something. Because I mean, just from, you know, I was always interested even in just watching everybody play. Like watching you play in class was super cool to me, and then going to like a local show and seeing like what that was like, I want to be a part of that so bad. So I started talking with you guys. I mean, Chad's super busy with everything he's doing, so I didn't expect any kind of projects to pan out with him. But you know, you're always down to start a project.
Oh hell yeah! I'll start it. I'm like guaranteeing it
Yeah,
will
for
make
sure.
it past
I
demo
didn't
phase.
know if anything would happen, especially because like that first time we jammed, I was so damn nervous.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I remember you came over and like it was just us jamming, and then I was like, oh wait, I know some stroke songs, and then we did some of that, and it was only me and Mark at the time because he just had his looper pedal.
Yeah, man.
And so you just loop stuff, and then I'd be like, all right, now we can start jamming, and we did that, and then like I think we jammed for like an hour or so.
Yeah.
And then we just like talked for like the rest of the night.
It's the best thing to do. We could have just a podcast between you and I every night practically if I was
I
around.
would just leave the mic set up and just come back in the morning. No, but like and then like we talked, and you're like, yeah, I definitely want to do this again. And then like we didn't like necessarily jam again, but like you just started coming over, started hanging out more. You were here.
But yeah, that's the thing. We were just kind of casually hanging out, and we had talked about having another jam session specifically, but nothing happened until like the first day that holiday was like starting to be considered like a thing.
Yeah, because like she's just like, oh fuck it, I'll jam with you guys, and then that kind of happened. Then we were in my garage, and then you had like this like little lick that you were playing, and I was like, let's run with this.
Yeah, full disclosure, that song is only a thing because you wanted it to be.
Yeah,
because that was just a little acoustic idea I had, and at the point that you were like, no, let's commit to this and make this a thing, it really came together so fast. Like thinking about it now, like the process for any other songs.
Yeah, because like we were just like down
crazy.
in the garage at like midnight, just like working it out, and we're like, all right, we're gonna come back
The next day, dude, that was such a nice one of those few magical moments of.
And then we pieced it
doing
together,
something
and then
cool.
we're like, all right, we're gonna record it, and then we recorded it, and then
Which that's worth mentioning too.
recording.
Yeah, because the first time I did it was just so bad. We kind of skipped over that, but there was
What?
another night where I'd come over when you and Caesar were tracking bass for Reclaim stuff, and he and I had been talking prior, same kind of thing. I was just kind of hitting everybody up, seeing what they're into, and he and I talked separately about doing something.
Yeah, I remember
And
this.
he had an idea that he had already worked on, and I was going to play through. So we tried to record it that same night in the garage, and I just couldn't do it. I tried like 50 times to do the same easy little arpeggiated part, and I just couldn't do it. But that also made it that much nicer when we recorded like the spinning stuff, and it went super easy. It was like
and
almost first try for everything.
Yeah, it was like wildfire, like just tracking all those guitar tracks, and then just like going from there. And then we did that, and then we didn't have drums done, so I had to like go in and program drums, and then you were just like so stoked on it, and I was like, and like me and Caesar was like, yeah, it's cool, and you're just like, yeah, fuck yeah, you're like, woo.
Well, like I said, just I was already such a big fan of watching that stuff happen, so to finally like have some of it for myself was just such a nice feeling.
Yeah.
Like it just knowing like I finally made something, no matter like what my mindset is has been fluctuating towards, because you know you're your hardest critic. But,
Yeah, definitely. Like with
it's cool knowing that like I made something. At the end of the day, I did what I wanted to do for the last couple years of high school. So
yeah, and then we tracked drums, and then it all just came together, and then we laid vocals down, and that was a fun time.
I didn't get to participate in that because
Yeah, you
work
had
schedules, unfortunately.
you had to go to work, but you came back and you were super stoked to hear it, and it was just like, all right.
Yeah, I don't know. I will say that Natalie's vocals have definitely grown on me, because initially it was kind of a convenience thing. You know, we didn't have anybody else around that were like, oh, do you want to sing for something like this? And I asked her, and she said that yeah, she was down to do it. And I think a lot of it too was she was kind of hesitant initially
Yeah.
about really like opening up about it, because it's been a while since she's done any music stuff.
Yeah, because Natalie used to be in a short-lived band called Boy Girl Boy, and it was just me, Caesar, Natalie, and she was supposed to play bass.
No
But-
regrets.
Yeah, no regrets. Yeah, she was supposed to play bass, but she, I don't know, she just didn't want to do it, and then so we just had like our buddy Donovan fill in on that, and had her do vocals, and we did one performance, and it was just out of her, like, it wasn't out of her vocal range, it was out of her style, because it was just like fast skate punk, and so she was very uncomfortable, and I don't blame her being hesitant, like coming into a, like singing, because she got that sour taste from the first time, but she definitely opened up, because at the Local Man's Awful show, she fucking killed that
I was
cover.
gonna say, I feel like she was, no offense to Alex, but she was the star of the Belladonna set. People went
Dude,
off for that
hell yeah,
cover.
I don't think he'd be offended. He'd fucking, we ripped shit up, and people went crazy, because like as soon as you hear girl, everyone's like, what, because it's like sausage fest up in there, and it's just
oh
like,
yeah, definitely.
everyone's like, what, and so like they were hyped on that, and I mean,
And she was so good too. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like yeah, there's just a hype of someone being a girl singing like that's or doing whatever, like just being involved with a band. There's a hype already around that, and like our relationship aside, because I don't let that shit affect like what I want to do. Like I want to make something good, and if that like if she wasn't contributing to that, I would tell her. But no, she's good, so there's no issue there. Like and she was really good then, so it only makes me look forward more to our live performances, knowing that even with as nervous as she told me she was, she performed super duper well.
yeah, and so like you saying that, I know your impact on the scene hasn't been like very big yet, because
Not yet.
we haven't played yet, but you still come out to almost all the shows you can, and I think
Yeah.
that's something to be talked about, because even though you're not performing, that still shows like you still want it that bad.
Definitely, like I said, there's just ever since I got into playing music, I just have had this huge admiration for live music, like watching people do that stuff and really put all their ideas out there for others to see and critique. It is just such a cool concept to me, and unfortunately I kind of have like a consistent schedule of closing every night at my job, so I can't make every show, but I feel like I make most. I figure it out. I mean, I called off of work to go to Local Man's Awful show. As far as anyone from there is concerned, I was very sick with the flu.
Yeah,
But
super
I was just,
sick.
I was
but,
just,
I mean,
just
you were
sick with that
you were
sick,
just
nasty
suffering
music.
the whole time you're at the show. You're just
yeah,
like
man.
tissue after tissue.
Yeah.
But so does that make you jealous of like your friends playing, playing shows, and you're just an
No.
attendee, not a performer?
No, it's never, and I've thought about this too, but no, it's never made me jealous. Or even envious. It's just made me eager. It's just made me really eager, because I've always been like I said, like really harsh on myself about the things I'm making, but at this point I finally feel like confident in the stuff that I'm putting together. And I just feel like that's a big part of that is the fact that it's not just me. Like, I never wanted it to just be Marc Rott and people playing in his band. Like, I love the fact that, like, I get creative freedom with you guys, but it's still our project. Like, I get so much influence from what you and Caesar are doing.
I think we all
influence
suggest everybody.
Yeah, like you said, it's a really good melting pot band. Like, some of the other things you guys are involved with are what they are, you know? Like, Reclaim is what it is, and it doesn't, like, fluctuate. Yeah, you got, like, different styles of hardcore that it can incorporate, but it's still pretty set. With Holiday, I feel like I said, it's supposed to be just something very fun. It's not supposed to be thought into too deep. Like the name kind of suggests, like, it's just supposed to be a fun thing. So I think it's cool for you guys to use it for maybe experimenting with some other stuff you can't use with the other bands you're in. And for me, it just is an open avenue for me to try out things that are feeling cool at the time and start figuring out my style. Because, you know, you guys have been doing this for a long time. This is my first band, so I don't know necessarily, like, what all I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, so, like, I know you've gone to, like, how many house shows have you gone to?
I don't know. More than I can count on my hands, at least.
And then C47, you've gone to a lot of those too, right?
I've gone to, in the last few months, I've gone to pretty much every show they've had.
Now, what do you like better? What scene do you like better? The house show scene or the C47 scene?
Oh, C47 for sure.
You think
That's so easy. Yeah, I don't know. The house show scene, honestly.
From an attendee's perspective, the house show scene.
What is it like?
Yeah, like, just, like, going in as someone who doesn't, because, like, at a house show, it's usually, like, if it's, like, a full-on, like, the typical house show, it's usually BYOB, fucking 420 friendly. This is literally what it says on flyers.
Yeah.
BYOB 420 friendly, fucking 19 bands on the bill, all fitting in this backyard.
Yeah, man.
All
That's
supposed to play half an hour sets. Fucking.
Oh man, we're really gonna get into some shit talking now.
300. I'm not shit talking to anybody. I'm just saying.
Not anybody specific, but just house shows in general. Like that.
300 bands or 300 people.
300 bands.
Fucking can't move. It's, like, very crowded, and it's, like, just chaotic, and it's not in control. And I'm like not. And, like, I don't partake in, like, drinking or smoking, but, like, I'm not gonna put anyone down for it. I just think it's chaotic, and I think there's a lot of bad shit that could happen at a house show. Like, people can get drunk and get upset and have drama that could come up, and people get into fights for it, because that has happened. And I've been in multiple situations for that at being at house shows, and I've been into situations for no reason. I don't do shit, and so, like, shit happens, and then people fight, and then people get fucking shit stolen from houses. Fucking equipment's gone and all that.
Yeah, there's too many variables to that type of thing. I just feel like maybe
like
it sounds a little snobby, but when you have something like C47 around, there's no point in, like, going to the house shows, which I still go for the sake of supporting my friends and whatnot.
Well, like, I feel like I'm not totally against house shows. I just feel like safer at C47. I feel like I belong at C47.
Well, and just the energy is better in my opinion. I feel like house shows, a lot of people don't really treat it for the musical aspect. It's kind of a hangout. It's a social
like
thing.
Oh shit, like, there's gonna be fucking this and that here.
I feel like C47 really separates the people that are around to listen to music and the people that are just kind of around for a social aspect.
Yeah, like,
not that, like, those can't be the same people.
Yeah, no,
but just, like,
definitely.
I feel like it has a better way of separating that, because when you show up to a house show, like you said, like, from an attendee's perspective, maybe someone who hasn't been there before, 9 out of 10 times is very dark. There's, like, shit lighting in whoever's backyard this
broken
is.
glass, fucking people just, like,
and like, there's a lot of clicks too. I don't know, that just makes me feel weird, like, seeing all these people.
Yeah, there's, like, it could be like you're 300, but out of that 300 there's, like, 10 circles going on, and
10 circles, like, and they're usually dressed
like
about the same,
and they could be talking shit on each other while they're standing right next to each other.
They'll be talking shit like this.
Yeah, and then they'll just, like, look back and be like, oh shit, he's looking at me. But yeah, no, I'm not putting house shows down, and I'm not sucking C47's dick right now. But I just feel more comfortable there, and I feel like
I just had more fun at C47. I don't think there's anything to do with like putting house shows down. It's just more fun at C47. I would still go to a house show.
Oh yeah,
because I still get to see the music I want to see. I still get to support my friends. Well, the music part's not always true. That's my only problem too, is C47's a little more gathered, especially in like their timelines. As for house shows, I usually don't get to see everything I want to see because they start
back
so late.
It's
like I remember the first time I went to see the Licks at a house show, because that everyone was like, "Oh, you got to see how they are live."
Which one was that one? Was that the one you brought your brother to?
Yeah.
What's his name? Austin?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
shout out to Austin.
Yeah, shout out to little man. He's honestly scared of you. Not to sidetrack too much, but yeah, it's come up a few times that you're just mildly intimidating to him.
Really?
Yeah, I guess so.
Like intimidating how?
I don't know, man. I think it's like the sarcastic humor you're using is just new to him. He saw some high school Brad and got scared.
It comes out house show. That's why I don't go to house shows, dude. Yeah, no, that one, that the Licks play that you're talking about, that was fucking nuts. That was just like too many people, and I like was getting very claustrophobic.
Well, I mean, that
there.
one was kind of like meant to be like a social gathering though, because it was like for
yeah.
a birthday,
Yeah.
right? Like.
Yeah, but like you didn't even see him. You just ended up going in and out, right?
Yeah, no, I had a dip. I had the kid with me, so I had to dip. And either way, like I said, I don't know what everybody else is up to, but I know at the time I was going to work pretty early the next day, and prior to working the job I have now, I was working at Vans down in Burbank, and was living in LA, doing the skater dream, and then I broke my leg, and that kind of became obsolete. So,
yeah, I don't know.
And girls,
I think C47's more of an opportunity spot too.
Definitely, when you look at the bands that have come in there, just since that started up, it's shown like a progression of like how C47's just coming slowly but surely a bigger spot on the map. I feel like,
yeah,
and they've had a way of introducing stuff that like I've really dug, like that. Just how the last few shows alone, Leashes, coolest fucking thing ever. Poor Timing was super solid. Like I've never been more impressed with a live 2-piece band, and I mean, Dream Haze.
Dream Haze
Such a
is
solid.
good.
They're pro rockers.
Yeah, no, that was like a perfect segue to like one of the next segments I wanted to bring up. What do you think is the best band to come through the high desert?
The best band. That's super
band
subjective.
That's just been like, oh, dude, like whoa.
I mean,
I'm trying to think. Like,
yeah, that's a hard one.
like Leashes was good because like everyone became friends with them. Like they were just like the coolest people ever, and they, like you said, they brought this energy.
Oh, fuck yeah! I'm just gonna put it out there. Leashes was the best band, just for the fact that like I don't think any band that. Not anything specific to C47, but just in general, any band that I've seen live like that from like a local standpoint has created an energy like that. Like that was just something that I feel like everyone could get into, no matter like what style of music you're into. They just created a good fucking energy that just made everyone so happy to be there.
Yeah, and then like I think everybody was just cool, and we all hung out, and we all just talked.
Yeah, definitely. They're cool dudes. And that's the thing. I feel like sometimes when you get like bands from out of town, it's kind of hit or miss on how they are going to be socially. But they were like the most open dudes. Like I got to have a full conversation with them about like guitar stuff, and that was always entertaining for me. I love guitar talk.
Yeah, like like people. It's always like this like weird like standoff thing when bands first pull up, because it's like, oh, we're booked with this band, we don't know them. When they first pull up, it's always like this weird like tension that I get. I'm like, oh shit, here they are.
That makes sense.
But with like Leashes, I was like, oh, like we just talked before. Like, well, as soon as they're loading in, we're like, oh, we need to stop talking. Like, it's like we need to load in our gear. It's like, oh, okay, haha. And then like they stayed through the whole show, because usually touring bands take off like immediately.
Not only did they stay, but they were like the most involved people there.
Yeah, like they were
the Reclaim set. They were fucking getting it, dude. That
yeah,
shit
dude.
was,
Max and Jacob and Hooper were like fucking losing their mind.
That was crazy.
Um,
Bumping into Alex and shit.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's real.
I can't remember the bass player right now. What's his name?
Oh,
Hold on.
man. This is a pretty typical bass
Fuck.
player situation.
That's fucked up. I
Oh,
would never
man.
put you down like that. Hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna
He's
pull
so
up.
fucking good, too. That's what's...
Jeff. Jeff's his name.
Jeff the mullet man.
I don't talk shit about his mullet, man.
I'm not talking shit. I'm applauding him for being able to pull it off. No joke. I had a full conversation about that with Natalie, just about like how can he pull off a mullet? One, how can he pull off a mullet? Because he does. And two, how can he play that well with a mullet? Because holy shit,
he
dude
he was ripping
getting
it up.
That was fucking crazy.
Now, you might have caught on, but Mark likes to go to shows. Not only does he like to go to local shows, he likes to go to festivals.
Oh man.
And this year, Mark had the wonderful experience of Coachella, but it was on drugs. This is the first time you ever taken drugs too, right?
Oh man, when you say drugs, it sounds like so extreme. You know, just heroin for the first time.
Just straight heroin during Post Malone set.
Oh man, you're going to bring up the Post Malone
Hell
set
yeah,
specifically.
motherfucker.
Yeah. I don't know. What's crazy is my stepdad actually like grows weed, so that was available to me for years, but I just never wanted to. My parents are super cool about that stuff though. They were like, if you want to try something, whether it's like drinking or smoking or whatever, like I'd rather you just tell me and like we can arrange something so like we at least know you're safe. But I just had no desire through all of high school to do anything like that. And then yeah, we went to Coachella, and that whole place is just one fucking cloud. So like you're either smoking or drinking the entire time. Like everyone there's you're either smoking or drinking, or you're posing for Instagram pictures. Because that
Was there a lot of pose dogs out there?
yeah, that's the thing. So that was kind of a conversation that Natalie and I had. How Coachella's super expensive. It costs a lot of fucking money, but it's totally worth it. With all the people we got to see, I can 100% say it was totally worth it. At the same time, I can equally see why people say that it's kind of like a status thing to go. Because as much as like there was a bunch of people there for the music, there was just as many people there just to like be there and take pictures and stuff. But I don't know, to each his own. As far as my experience, didn't take any pictures because I was too busy getting fucked up for my first time.
Videos were being taken of
Oh yeah, videos were being taken of me without my knowledge because my eyes were closed because I couldn't keep them open.
Yeah, like this guy was so like fucking dusted. He was just so gone. Like I remember like watching the video and like after like who was it, Post Malone or?
Well, it was that's the thing. I got
you clapped in sign language.
Oh,
or like you're applauding in sign language.
What's sad about this is I never saw the videos because I don't have a Twitter. So Natalie posted them on Twitter without me knowing, and then people started like messaging me about it, and they're like, "Oh my god, that video of you is so funny!" And finally, I asked her, and she showed me, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like that's what I look like?" And the funny part about it too is like, from my point of view, with how the mindset I was in. Post Malone's set was like 5 minutes for me. I don't remember more than 5 minutes. I heard like one song, but apparently I was there for 45 minutes.
Oh shit!
And
what was your favorite set at Coachella? Was it Greta Van Fleet?
Oh yeah, dude, almost brought me to tears. I don't care what anybody says. I won't deny the fact that it's super similar to Led Zeppelin, but I never really got into Led Zeppelin. Like as to where that's kind of like a staple thing for kids. I'm not opposed to it. It's just it was never around for me. So
what do you mean it's like one of the biggest rock bands of all time? It's not
but
around.
I don't have as far as around me specifically. Like my parents weren't playing that stuff at home. Like I said, I'm not the most social of kids. So the few friends I did have, if they weren't playing something like that, then I just didn't hear it. You know. So to where that's kind of a staple band for a lot of kids these days growing up.
So would you say Greta Van Fleet or Led Zeppelin? About to make a lot of enemies right now with your decision.
Oh, yeah, dude. Even my dad texted me because I told him about Greta Van Fleet, and he was like, "It sounds like a shitty Led Zeppelin cover band." And I was like, "Damn, it really be like that for some people." But I think personally it's Greta Van Fleet for me, just because of it's just modern. It's the same
Yeah.
thing, but it's modernized. Like, so it's a little easier for new kids who are getting into that type of thing to grab onto. It's
Did
taking
you-
an old thing and just making very subtle changes to it.
So did you go both weekends or just the one?
No, just weekend 2, and that I'm glad I didn't go any more than that, cause camping there is fucked, dude. Like, it's so hot, and even with my crazy white mom being like over prepared, it still wasn't enough. Shit was so hot, but that's why, you just had to cool off with a nice cold brewski. And that's kind of how the smoking happened. Is I hadn't, like I said, I hadn't done anything. I didn't drink or smoke through all of high school, so the only thing that got me to smoke was I just tried to down as much alcohol as I could possible. Like, I mean, like hard alcohol. Like there was a bottle of vodka, like the orange juice and vodka mix, and there was a bottle of Fireball. Good old Fireball.
Fireball's fucking nasty.
Nah, dude, it's good. But I just put down as much as I could and as fast as the time period possible, because I was like, I just gotta get there. Like, normally it's like, it sounds like I'm all.
I just gotta get there. Nah, dude, Fireball's fucking gross.
No.
I got paid $40 to chug like it was like they're like, yeah, I'll pay you like $20 or like $40 or some shit. They're like some amount of money, and they're like, yeah, if you do a good that much of Fireball.
That's it.
And then
I was paid to drink that.
I was like, yeah, this fool's a fucking idiot. I'm gonna take advantage of this. And so I did that, and they're like, this is back when I was drinking. Fucking, they're like,
You're
okay,
straight edge now, right?
yeah, they're like, now chug this beer and you can't throw up. And I was like, come on. And so they added like $20 more to whatever it was, and I made like $40 or $60 really easily. I mean, they're like, yeah, you can't throw up for like 10 minutes. So I waited, and then 3 hours later I threw up, and then I drank more.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just one, I like Fireball. I'm down with that shit.
That's so gross. The
And
white girl drink.
I finally have a white girl order at Starbucks, so I guess it's just fitting
Was
that
it pumpkin spice?
No. That's seasonal, anyways. I only know that stuff now because
Oh.
my girlfriend works at Starbucks. So, but no, it's an iced coffee. It's just a very sweet iced coffee. It's in case anybody wants to order the Marc Rott special.
What is it? It's
a venti iced coffee with 9 pumps of vanilla, or sometimes I do 6 pumps of vanilla and 3 pumps of the toffee nut, and then extra cream.
Wait, hold on. Write this down. I'm gonna put this in the description. Wait. So what is it? It's an what?
A venti iced coffee.
Okay. Venti iced coffee.
Do the 6 pumps of vanilla, and then 3 pumps of the toffee nut, and then extra cream. I'm all saying it twice on here so we can write it down. But yeah, man, I get that
6
every day.
pumps, 3 pumps of what?
The toffee nut.
Toffee nut. And then after that,
Extra cream. Like the half and half cream. Yeah, man. It's such a small portion of it's actually coffee, but I don't care. It does its job, and it tastes good. At least I don't have a fruity drink order. I feel like you'd tear me apart if I did.
no, I usually just get I wouldn't. I mean, you got that one strawberry when we went to go see Big Bite Super Crush.
Honestly,
that was so fucking disappointing that day. You were so bummed out because Mark's been driving all day, and he used to drive up and down to Burbank.
I don't drive to Burbank
but now
now,
he just drives to Fontana, right?
Yeah.
Which is not that bad compared to Burbank. But
No, I mean, it still sucks. I'm trying to move down there by the end of the year so I can just be over the drive. But that day we were hanging out and stuff, and we had to stop other places. We stopped at Guitar Center on the way there.
yeah, sold some shit so we can get money.
Yeah, get money for all the merch that you guys still got, even though we couldn't go in. But you saw them the next day or something?
Yeah, they had 2 LA days, and I was like,
That's
thank God.
ridiculous. But yeah, we drove all the way to LA just to find out that it wasn't an all ages show.
I know. I talked about this with, I think it was Garrett or the county fair boys. But yeah, I was like, they didn't fucking put it on there, and I didn't know the Cha Cha Lounge was a bar. It could have been like the Cha Cha Bar, something like that.
The Cha Cha Bar.
But like,
Yeah,
no,
I don't know.
like,
I feel like that's important
he was
information
so
to
bummed
put on
out, and
flyers.
like, it was yeah, it was so fucked up because we drove all the way, and as soon as we got there, we got the notification from Alan, like, yeah, it's 21, and then we were walking up. We're like, are you fucking kidding me?
And that's the thing. I don't have a problem with driving like a long distance as long as I get like what we went for. But that was just such an anticlimactic day. Like,
But then we went to Del Taco and hung out, and
yeah, no, it still wasn't bad. Like hanging out with my friends is always fine. But I just really wanted to see that show, dude. It got me so hyped. I was like, damn,
yeah.
Big Bite's about to be sick. And then,
And then weren't allowed in. And then the next day was so dope. And then like yeah, no, you went, what'd you get that day? Oh, and that dude was gonna like fucking like fight you or some shit or something like that? Or
Yeah.
Alex?
I don't know. It was weird. I was just I got a serious strawberry frappuccino. It wasn't that good, to be honest, but it's fine. And while I was waiting for my order, I just sat down in the first chair I saw, and it happened to be like the back of my chair was the back of the next guy's chair, and he was turned outwards, like watching something on his phone. He looked homeless. I know it sounds kind of shitty to say, but dude was like so pissed that I sat down right there. Mind you, like, I don't know, there was like other people in there, so there wasn't a ton of open seating. But yeah, he was just like, out of any seat in here, you have to sit right here next to me, really? And was like pissed about it. And yeah, Alex was defending me because, you know, a little boy needs help.
Yeah.
And
yeah, Mark's like 12.
Yeah, honestly, well, my voice sounds like it.
Yeah, so like that day was just like so fucking shitty, and like I was chilling. I was like, well, I'm coming back tomorrow. But
Yeah.
shout out to Alan from Big Bite because we were able to still fucking get what we wanted. He just had to go in with Alex, the only one that's over 21, and get all the shit we wanted and help us get the merch we need. And then went to the show the next day and it was dope as fuck. But yeah, and then Mark, being a guitar player of Holiday, how many guitars do you have? Now count all of them, working or non-working.
Count all of them?
Yes.
Oh man, we're putting it all out there. So this fluctuates a lot, which I'm sure we can
Okay,
get
so your
into.
count right now.
Yeah, for right now in this moment, I have my Jazzmaster, which is like my favorite guitar ever. It's truly my dream guitar, and it's my primary guitar for all the Holiday stuff. Spinning was recorded specifically on that. But yeah, I have that. I have my Strat, which was my first guitar. It's the one I used through rhythm combo classes and stuff at the end of high school. And it's still just a super solid guitar. I've had it set up like 3 different times so it plays like as smooth as possible. But those are the 2 primaries at the moment. Following that, I have a thin line Telecaster, which will be highly used in the upcoming Holiday stuff because it's got some gainier humbucker pickups in it, and it just fits the vibe with it's a pink thin line, a nice shell pink, so that'll be cool to use live. So we're up to 3 of like the normal ones I would use. I have a Telemaster, so the Jazzmaster mixed with a Telecaster.
So what's that? That's what is a Telemaster?
Yeah, so it's a Jazzmaster body shape, and then it's got like
Does it have a Telecaster head?
Yeah, it does, or most of them do. Mine's not made by Fender. It's a different custom guitar company.
Oh, okay.
Indie custom guitars. So that one, it's a cool yellow color. I dig it. Don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet. I actually was working on it earlier today because I finally got the rest of the parts I need for it. So hopefully I'll have that done within like the next week or so, and I can either jam on it or flip it and try to make some more money out of it. But so we got those 4. I have my Teisco ET200 tulip guitar. It's made in the 60s. That one's pretty cool. It doesn't play the best, but it's kind of like a nice, pretty wall hanger. And what else do we got? I got my Jaguar bass. Now we can get into the other stuff. I have a Jaguar bass. I have an Urban black acoustic guitar. And then the newest thing I picked up, and it's probably my favorite little thing to mess around with, is a 3/4 size like parlor style guitar by Luna. It's super cool. It sounds really big for how small it is. And
what about your Gretsch?
Oh yeah, I got my Gretsch. Already forgetting about it. Yeah. So the funny part about it sounds so shitty. I sound like such a spoiled brat. The Gretsch was one of those guitars. The Gretsch is one of those guitars that I just dreamed of having for a super long time. It's the white double cut semi hollow with the gold hardware. And I loved that guitar, like every time I saw a picture of it. And I finally got it because I buy pretty much all of my guitars used. The Jazzmaster is the only guitar that I bought new. But the Gretsch I got used for super cheap. I'm not going to throw out prices because when I resell this stuff, it's kind of crucial. But yeah, I don't know, just with the other stuff I've been using, especially because Holiday has been my main musical focus, I've only really been focused on the Jazzmaster and the Telecaster. That the Gretsch is just not getting used enough, so I'm going to be flipping that one soon. But it sounds so good. That's the unfortunate part. But it's just not working with what I'm doing at the moment. I was getting really into playing jazz stuff for a bit.
Yeah.
So that was fitting for that, but I'm just leaning away from that. Like I said, first band and all that stuff, figuring out what kind of style I'm going to be playing in for a while. So
yeah, so if you want to buy any of those guitars, Mark is selling all of them.
Pretty much. The majority of my guitars I'm going to have to sell right now because I got to buy a new car. But
now going back to the C47 topic, do you think C47 is blowing up?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's not about what I think.
From your perspective.
From my perspective, yeah, and that's just because it's not a subjective thing. You just look at how the last show went even.
Yeah, we fucking sold out. That's just gnarly.
Doubled what a normal show there usually is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's slowly been getting better. And I mean, let's be honest, not sucking anybody's dick here, but Reclaim pulls the people in.
I think Licks pull more though.
I mean, the Licks always has pulled just a shit ton. But that's the thing, when you put those two people in the same room, or those two groups, I should say, it's bound to be the biggest thing.
I need to ask them, like, what's their fucking formula, because they have 2 singles out, and they are the fucking, like, they've got it figured out. Because, like, we have a full, like, demo, and it's just, like, it's cool. It was well received, but, like, they're riding on 2 fucking...
Yeah,
2 singles.
I don't get it. I think
I don't want to see what it's going to look like when fucking the EP drops.
Right? Like when people have more stuff to listen. Yeah, I don't know. I think part of it is just Chad as a person is very
I think they got it well figured out.
enticing for a lot of people.
Which I need to ask and be like, hey, help me out.
Shit, I need to know. This holiday shit needs to blow up, so Brad and Caesar have
That's a nice
have
one.
a reason to stay in a band with me.
So
before they realize I'm a mediocre guitar player.
Yeah. I'll put spinning in at the end of this, and we'll see how people like it.
That's why we're a pop punk band. The pop part is another term for saying that I'm playing an easier version of the punk stuff I want to do.
Now, I'm gonna ask this: is the Alicia's, like you being Alicia's fanboy, is the Alicia's show your favorite show you've been to? Out of everything,
Definitely.
like even big concerts or whatnot.
Oh, in general, no. I feel like that'd be a little unfair to say. I mean, they were good for sure, but
How was that Chon show?
it was good. What's funny is I went to see all the bands that were playing, but it's Chon's show, like that's what it was titled under, and that's what I was like going to see technically. But Polyphia was to me the best part of that whole thing. Like they were super sick.
I always love that when like supports, like the supporting acts, just fucking blow the
I don't
like,
think you're too big of a fan of them, but This Town Needs Guns was really good.
Fuck no.
Yeah, dude, they were good live.
Whatever, I don't give a fuck. They can do good. Not my books though. So, was it that 5-minute Post Malone set?
Oh shit! It might have been something from Coachella, but no, it wasn't the 5-minute Post Malone set.
Greta Van Fleet?
Shit, maybe, cause I mean, as far as other bigger shows like that, I haven't been to a ton. When I was like 14 or something like that, or no,
Yeah.
I was older than that. I was probably like 16, but I got to see the Chili Peppers down in L.A.
Oh, that's cool.
That was a cool show. Like, as far as, regardless of what people like think of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, it was just a good live performance. Like, they
Yeah.
had this sick light setup, like that was swirling through the top of the stadium, and because it was at the Staples Center, I believe, and so it was a big setup for them to use. And yeah, super cool visual effects going on throughout the whole thing. Josh, their new guitarist, is fucking crazy good. I mean, like, I feel like that's a requirement for...
John Frusciante, isn't it?
No, dude.
More?
He's been out for, like, a long while.
Oh, my God.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude. They have a... What's funny is the guitarist they have now used to play with Frusciante. And now he plays for the Chili Peppers.
That's what happens when you start fucking hanging out with people. Hopefully I hang out with, like, Justice Tripp from Angel Dust, and then fucking... Oh, no. Hang out with Daniel Fang from Angel Dust, and then I'll just take his spot. No, I couldn't do that to him.
That's why I'm hanging out with you guys. I'm thinking... I'm not actually here for the holiday stuff. I'm just here to see if they'll put me in Reclaim, or... I'm actually trying to just restart Day Late, so...
Oh, no. Do you think I should interview Damien? Come on.
Man, we're really throwing this out there. Yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah, I would like to talk to him.
It's a part of the scene. It's part of the scene's history.
Yeah, no.
I've always felt so funny saying the scene, but that's really what it is. Like,
Yeah, it is the scene. It's what's going on. It's
Yeah.
what's happening. Gem or Super Crush?
Gem, just because of the personal kind of similarities Holiday has towards them. Like, Super Crush was, like I said, the most influential thing for me writing for spinning.
Yeah.
But Gem is still continuously an influence for just our band as a whole, because I feel like, yeah, they're the most relatable thing that I've gotten to see live, at least for what we're doing, because there's not a whole lot of female singers that are around for us to see anyway. That's why, like, it's such a big deal if, like, there's a girl around. But yeah, I don't know, similar style of music to a degree, and I dig what they're doing. Their songs are good, their vibes are cool. Same thing, they're another one of those bands that you can interact with and talk to.
Yeah, like, I don't think, like, the like, talk about the vibe, I don't think I'm ever angry when I listen to Gem. I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah, man, it's a good time every time.
Now, I have written down on this list, I have band radar. What has been your, like, band radar? Like, what's been on your radar recently?
Of, like...
Local or non-local? What have you been jamming recently?
Personally, what I've been listening to, and I mean, this isn't anything that's, like, underground or by any means. No, I play in a poppy band for a reason, because I listen to some poppy shit. But Joyce Manor is underrated.
You think they're underrated?
I think that...
I don't think they're underrated I think their sales and how fast they sell out shows.
I still think that there could be, like, a bigger hype around them, because the way I see this is, when I put on their artist radio, the other artists within the same genre, at least that are suggested with them, I don't feel like are typically on the same caliber. Like, throwing it out, more hot takes right here. Fucking can't stand the Front Bottoms.
Amen, dude. Fuck the
Man,
Front Bottoms. I like that one song by them, but, like, it's not enough for me to listen to the rest of it.
I accidentally liked a song by them on my artist radio. Now I can't figure out how to unlike it. So it keeps,
what song?
Like 12 Feet Deep.
I don't know. They had that one song. I was so bored. Then I met you. I like that song. It was whatever. But the Front Bottoms.
It's all whatever.
How about what other bands do you hate?
Hate. Oof, that's a strong word.
How about Citizen?
That's whatever. Not crazy opinionated. I think that modern baseball is what the front bottoms wish they could be. And that to me still isn't anything like
Damn.
super crazy.
So Joyce Manor, huh? The
Joyce Manor.
underrated Joyce Manor.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds. I just feel like as much as like I hear these kids that are into that style of music, but then they're not into them. I'm just like, how? Like, how is it just not one of those things that you're just like cool with, you know? Because that's the thing. You don't have to be like obsessive Joyce Manor fan, but I just feel like it's one of those things that you could be overall cool with, even if you're not listening to them all the time. But,
Yeah. So
trying to see them soon too. They're gonna have a show in San Francisco, and I've never been to San Francisco. And Natalie loves it there, so we're trying to. We were actually we canceled our payments on our Coachella tickets for this year, so that we could have the money to go get a hotel and see Joyce Manor in San Francisco later this year. It's a trade up, and I definitely advise if you haven't been
like,
to Coachella.
why go see Coachella with all those overrated bands and go see an
Not
underrated
even.
band
There
at
was
fucking
cool shit at Coachella. I got to see fucking the week. I don't care what how
The
limited some of
Weeknd.
these people are. The Weeknd, Post Malone, at the same place as Portugal the Man and Cherry Glazer, and
fuck Cherry Glazer.
Oh, no
Fuck all
fucking
those
way.
fucking
no
Desert
way.
Days bands.
No fucking way. That shit was great. But I did get to find out that up and coming Kuko sucks live. Like was just so bad live.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Oh man. Well, that shows something.
So, as of right now, nothing's happening with Holiday right now. Like, nothing coming up.
Yeah, as far as like from a public perspective, no. But as far as like working on stuff goes, that stuff's happening. We would have been working on stuff today, but you know, not every day is a work day.
And fucking hang out, or you wanted to record the podcast.
We got next week though.
Next week. There's always next week.
There's always tomorrow. That's our album name. Dropping it here. No, I'm just kidding.
What? Do you have anything else planned for you?
Personally, just work on the music stuff, not stress on it, but get it done. Write some cool shit, not overthink it. Put it out there. Hopefully people like it. Move out of the high desert, not because of anything wrong with it, but just because I make more money down the hill. Try to keep skating more, you know? It's fun. If you're trying to skate sometime, let me know. We're just chilling, you know?
Yeah.
Trying to get you guys skating. The other day,
I
actually,
want to skate. I think skating seems so cool. Like, I haven't watched this season of King of the Road yet, but like, I feel like I'm just like too big to fucking skate. But look at Jamie Foy.
Yeah, I know. He's an inspiration.
Big boy
honestly.
Foy, dude. Oh my god, I love Jamie Foy.
It's so fucking good.
Oh, we're gonna talk about skateboarding for a minute.
Hey, yeah, man.
Jamie Foy is underrated. He's underrated.
Definitely.
Fuck. Who's that one dude I hate?
Oh, man.
That, remember? You're like, no, dude, this dude's super cool. And I was like, no, fuck him.
No, you gotta...
Who's that young dude who won? Fuck. I can't remember his name. Nah, but...
Describe him. Come on.
Louis Lopez? Or is it the Louis Lopez that I hate?
You hate Louis Lopez? There's no fucking way you hate Louis Lopez.
I think I hate Louis Lopez.
Louis Lopez is one of the most talented
I think I like a lot
ever.
of the chocolate writers. Like
Elijah Burrell.
I don't even know.
Rated.
I don't even know if he skates with chocolate anymore.
He does.
Shut
I'm
up,
not sure
computer.
actually. I don't know. I've always just paid attention to him from a Vans perspective. Working at Vans, I saw his part play like 50 times a day. So.
Yeah, no. Elijah Burrell, Jamie Foy. Who else do I like? Lizard King's good. Yeah.
Teach his own.
To each his own. Alright.
I'm not a Lizard King fan much myself. But,
Can't
he's
remember.
great.
Trying to think some of the Death Wish skaters.
you got,
Neen Williams.
yeah.
That's my guy. That's my dude
Fuck
from my
yeah,
team.
dude.
Fuck Creature. Creature sucks.
You're not down with Creature.
I
No,
fucking
no
hate
David
Creature.
Gravett.
Nah, dude, fuck David Gravett.
Damn.
Fucking breaking his bones every goddamn day.
Shit, relatable.
Who else? I'm just trying to think of like who was on King of the Road. Enjoy. I like Enjoy. Joy's whatever.
Yeah, I'm
They're
down
kinda
with
like
Enjoy.
one of those smaller Jerry Shoe company, right? Jerry Shoe did that, right?
Yeah. He's down with them. He writes for Enjoy and America. So
I like America.
yeah,
I like those shoes.
That's big up here, dude. Because like a lot of those guys are either around here or did live up here.
Well, like the pharmacy we have up here.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
They always do the kickoff there.
Brian Herman, who
Yeah.
skates for Baker in America, he, I think, still has a place up here. I know his brother lives up here, but yeah, I just saw like videos of them skating like Lime Street Park in Hesperia. It's just like, no big deal that they're just out here, but I guess they got to skate somewhere, and this happens to be their spot. But yeah, so all the local kids are like, as far as the skate scene goes, are big on America and Baker and pharmacy, because all those dudes are repping pharmacy stuff.
Let's put a fucking half pipe in C47.
That would be the smartest decision you could make. Oh my god! If you could convince Eric to do that, that would be so sick.
Yeah. Is there any last thing you want to plug or any last thing you want to get across before I silence you?
Plug the best thing offhand right now. If you haven't been to a Reclaim show, what are you doing? You got to get there. I'm not even a hardcore junkie myself, but even I love that shit. You got that New York style. It's sick. You got to come enjoy it. And if you can't make it for whatever reason, go listen to that shit through whatever streaming device you use.
This is weird.
I'm plugging you right in front of you, but if there's anything to plug, it's the shit I've been repping for sure. I love that shit.
Yeah, how are you gonna plug us and then not fucking show out by mosh for us, dog? I asked him that night of the show. I was like, "You gonna mosh?" He's like, "Dude,
I really
I'm fucking
thought about
feeling
it,
like it, dude."
But then I got put in charge of protecting Alex. I was told I couldn't let anybody hit Alex, because that mosh was getting pretty crazy. There's some bigger dudes in there. So, I mean...
Yeah, dude, like, people are just going nuts.
I was a little worried, like, your friend Cam, he's not a little guy, and he was windmilling and shit. I was worried I was going to get punched in the face or something. So I used my excuse of protecting Alex, not the fact that I was scared.
You feel like this was successful?
Feel
like you talked about everything you wanted to?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm always going to sound like a huge dork, but it's as successful as it could have been. All
right, well, I
always appreciate your time.
I think that's an episode. Thank you, Mark, for coming on here and talking to me for a minute.
Definitely.
All right.
Okay, so that was my conversation with Marc Rott. It was a very different conversation because he hasn't played yet, but no, I thought it was a productive one. And like I said, I don't want every podcast to be the same. I want to interview everyone. So if you are a contributor or just a person who likes to watch shows or attend the High Desert Scene shows, let me know. Hit me up. I'll have you on my show. More than welcome to. But yeah, I can't remember if he asked me to plug anything. I think he wants me to plug Reclaim. I don't want to do that. I feel like that's just pretty shitty, but yeah. Tune in next time. Thank you. Another thing I do want to mention is if you have music or any like instrumental or any just like noise or sounds or like poetry that's recorded or spoken word, I should say, if you want it to be like heard, I'll put it on the podcast. I don't care. Like I said, I want to expose the scene. So if you have music and you want me to put it on here, that can be the intro music. Just get like that music and then come in with the monologue and then do the episode. Or I can even put it as the outro or put it in the middle. I don't know, whatever works best. But yeah, if you have music and just like little stuff you want to put or want to be heard, and you don't necessarily want to be on the podcast, but you just want to have music that's out or little clips of it, let me know. Send that to me. I'll put it on there. I'll give you full credit too. Once again, this has been the Local Man Awful Podcast. Yeet.